I'm Raegan. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Miami and I'm now located in New York. I write and produce all my music, and yeah.
You already have a couple songs. One of them is the one that we're going to be talking about today is Mean. I want to go right into it, like writing the song. Um, what was the mindset going into it?
Yeah, so I made this actually in a New York hotel room with my engineer. He's from Miami and he was visiting me in New York. And we were like, you know what? Studios are so expensive. Let's just like set up a home studio in the hotel room. And that's what we did. And at the time, I was in this relationship with somebody, and it was a very like not healthy relationship. And so I was in a relationship, and the person that I was with at the time like spoke to their ex a lot behind my back, and it always made me feel like icky, and I could always tell that there was something weird going on. And in that relationship, I also didn't feel very comfortable being vulnerable or like expressing those emotions, because when I did, it was like me being dramatic or me kind of just like, I don't know, being delusional and selfish. So I just kind of like took that, how I was feeling, and went into the studio and like put my feelings into this song. And basically, what I did was kind of like switch the narrative and like create this non-existent story that was like my solution to all of this mess. So I was like, you know what? The ex just, she likes me and she just wants to be with me. So that's why she's talking to the person I'm with. And I kind of just went with that and ran. And it just like was a confidence booster for myself and kind of just like made me feel better. It made me not care about anything anymore, because I was like, okay, at the end of the day, it's all about me. Let me just like forget it. So it's almost like this delusional mess that I created just to like soothe my emotions.
Was there any moment where you're just like, should I be writing it like this, or should I be writing it more marketable? I guess the
Oh,
same.
no, not at all. I'm never
Yeah.
thinking about else other than myself when I'm making music. Like I could care less if people liked it or hated it. I'm like always just solving my own emotions and like expressing how I feel. It's always kind of like a like closing moment for me with my emotions. Like let's say I'm going through something, if I make a song about it, it's like, okay, done. I can walk away from it. That's my solution. Like I'm done now. So when I was writing that song, I was only thinking about myself and making myself feel better and like making myself feel more empowered in this powerless situation. So I was just like, being a bad bitch. And like, I want people to hear this, feel confident and feel sensual and just feel everything that I was feeling in that moment, which in reality, I wasn't feeling that, but I forced myself to feel that. And then now when I think about the situation, that's all I feel. So that's good.
I love that because then it gives you more of that ability of like, well, I've already been through that. I know how to get through it. And that's by means of writing a new song and being like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
So this is your like the second song you've released it this year, Waltz being the previous one. In comparison of the two, which one was more of like a challenge to write?
Honestly, neither. Like, I never am necessarily like challenged when I'm writing. It's always just how am I going to express how I'm feeling into words. Like I'm never, I don't know, it always just comes really quick to me and really easily to me because it's just like me and it's how I'm feeling. But I think Waltz, okay, if I have to pick one, I would say Waltz was easier because those emotions were so formulated and so like overdone and like over thought out that it was like when I made that song, it was like finally I can release this, you know?
Yeah, because I was kind of curious on the comparison of the two, because with waltz it has that like traditional waltz music in the background. So trying to force yourself to write within the stanzas of a waltz, I always thought that would have been the challenge, but I'm glad it's not.
Well, yeah, when I write my songs, what I do is I make the beats and then I freestyle flows. So like I'm never writing the words before I put down the melodies. So like I'll put down the melodies and that's why it's so in sync with like the waltz itself. So like I just took that and then I go back and I write to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And you know what? With waltz, we got beautiful music video. I noticed that we didn't get a music video just yet for Mean. Are we going to be getting one soon?
No, that one is just a little visualizer that I created by myself. Like me and my friend kind of just like formulated that video together. We've actually done that a few times with all my other visualizers. It's always like us kind of just creating that. Um, but yeah, I have a new music video coming out with Coins, my next single. So that'll be exciting.
Ooh, here, before we jump onto that for a second, because I know that's going to be coming out soon. In terms of the visualizer, that was a that looked like it was a fun shoot to do. How did you guys set that up?
So I just went on Peerspace, and I found like the venues and stuff like that, and I found like the rain one, and I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. It's gonna go so well with my ideas. And originally, I wanted to get egged like in the rain because that just went with my like marketing content strategy with Mean because I wanted to do really absurd, weird things, like almost like things that in a cheesy high school movie like the bullies would do, like, you know, getting egged or like putting notes on your back or just some weird shit like that. And we were just kind of playing around with that. But after I booked the space, the venue told me that I can't use eggs and stuff like that. So I was like, damn. So what we did,
Oh,
like the shoes. So at the end of the video, like they're throwing shoes at me. That one really fucking hurt. I can't even lie. That was not the best idea, but it worked. It conveyed my idea at least. And no, but it was really fun. It was like it was freezing cold though. I can't even lie. So like in between takes, I'm just like shivering. But it was a fun experience. Like I said, my girlfriend was there and my best friend was there. So it was just a very like we were just playing off each other and just having a good time.
oh my goodness, that sounds honestly though the eggs would have been so cool with that.
It would have.
But the shoots did add such a interesting tone, switch to the whole vibe of the music. I literally like wrote it down on my notes. I was like mentioned about the shoes at the last 20 seconds. Because I
Yeah.
was so curious about it because I was like, okay, that's a oh, all right. And so now if I hadn't just imagined the eggs, it would have been a totally different scene and I would have picked on it easily. All right. So, okay. So with that being said, we're going into you potentially a new song, Coin, which I don't have, unfortunately, don't have any information about. So, what's Coin about? No
Yeah,
coins.
Coins is about basically me coming into myself, reaching my dreams, like finding this success, almost like planting a seed when I was a kid, watering it through the years, and as a young adult, like finally seeing it sprout and seeing it grow into this like tree, if that makes sense. And it's also kind of about like the haters, like me always believing myself, but no one else believing in me, and me being like, I see, I knew it. I told you. I know it sounds so cheesy, but it's just like something that I made at the time when I was feeling that. I made this in high school. And the entire beat is made out of like actual coins. So it's really cool. I'm excited for that one to come out.
I love that. Holy shit. Wait a minute. So, in the process of making the sounds out of coins, like what style of coins are you using? Dimes, nickels, half
All of
dollars?
all of the above. There's so much. It's such a compilation of sounds that it's like we messed around with quarters, we messed around with dimes, and I think that's it. But we like kind of layered them and stacked them so they sound really full. And it's just like a bunch of changing coin sounds throughout the whole time, but like it's creating the drum aspect of the beat, if that makes sense as well. But yeah.
So, with that in mind, like, how did that kind of idea come to be for using coins
Um,
as base?
it was just a random idea I had. Like I always have such random ideas. Like with waltz, I was just like, I want to make a song out of a waltz. Like, and that just happened. I was just like, one day I was just like, coins. I want to make a song out of coins. Like, I can't even tell you how, what, or when I get ideas. They just happen. It's just weird. I did that in the studio with my engineer Dossie when I was in high school. So I think I was in junior year. I was probably like 16 at the time, and we just like made that beat, and it was so fun. And then I kind of like slept on it a little bit. I was like, okay, let me just like process this beat, and then I went back and just like did some flows, and then I wrote to it over like I think I wrote like about a year on it, like kind of just taking breaks and going back. But yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I'm just still kind of blown by the way that you just decided to just make a song out of using coins. I think that's insane but creative at the same time. Interview. I have a couple of these random fun questions, conversation cards. You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So the first one is, who is your celebrity doppelganger?
Like, who do I look like?
Yeah.
I get Elle Fanning since I was a kid, and a lot of Lily Rose Depp. Now that I'm like on TikTok and stuff like that, I get a lot of those comments. And people tell me I look like Lana Del Rey, which is just absurd to me. I don't think I look anything like her. I don't know. I guess everyone has their own perspective though.
Okay, I can see those. I immediately my mind went straight to Grimes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. That's who I was thinking in my head. I was like, oh, I gotta ask this one. um, and then if you were to press shuffle on your playlist right now, what would be the first song that would pop on?
Either something from Brockhampton or I've been really into the new Beyonce album. My favorite from that is I'm That Girl. And like every time I have a show, I'll just like play it and I'm just like, yes, I'm that girl.
I love that. And you know what? Speaking of that, you actually do have another show coming up next week. How are you excited for it?
I'm so excited. That's going to be the premiere of my new set list. So it's going to be this entire like performance art experience. It's going to be really cool. I have a dancer coming in with me. It's choreographed. It has a bunch of props, a bunch of costumes. It's going to be like a whole immersive experience. So that'll be fun.
I love that. And then with that being said, where can we be able to find you?
You can find me on social media anywhere at Raegan Complex, Raegan, and you can stream my music on any music platform. And my name is Raegan, all caps.